You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For JD Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to the Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new Signature Wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
Six, 4, 3, 2. No, I thought you told me to stop like I was going too fast. I'm like, what am I doing? Count me down. Oh, I wish I was partying with Nana. I'd probably be in a better
mood. Any Laura
mood.
tabs in there? Could you give me some Laura tabs? That'd be great.
I think she's just on benzos, dude. She's got that tongue that always gets in the way.
Phew.
And she moves her lips, but no words come out. Yeah, don't ever do a... Nobody can hear you? Can they hear us?
We've had that on Cyber Wars before. But that was kind of weird. So, yeah, I mean, Benzo's... Hi, I'm the Cabana Boy number 2 tonight, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, but he refuses to put the shorts on.
That's because I like the sarong.
It's actually a banana hammock.
Okay.
Morty
You're lost.
is running around in a Speedo. Yep. Yeah. But at least he's bringing me wine, so it's all good.
There we go. Hi!
Anyway. All right, so where do you want to start? Should we go in chronological order and at least have some commentary on that disaster of a debate last night?
Yeah, you just lead us in. I'm here for the ride.
Okay, they're making me defend Bernie Sanders. It was hard enough for me to defend Donald Trump right after the election. The Democrats made me do it. Now, CNN and Democrats are making me defend Bernie Sanders as a person, not his politics.
Yeah, the following program contains...
I'm sorry. The day before the debate, the story dropping on CNN, who's hosting the debate, that Bernie said something sexist to Elizabeth Warren a year ago was about the most cynical thing Warren has ever tried to pull.
I said this last night. I don't know if I said it out loud when we were doing the debates, but Warren did what Clinton did with the birther thing. She just put the blood in the water. She didn't actually say it. A staffer said it, and the blood's in the water.
But she did put out a statement.
Well, yeah, she did put... Oh, man. Yeah.
And then her answer... Well, first of all, Bernie says, no. Anybody who knows me knows I would never say anything like that. Why would I say something like that when Clinton won the popular vote in 2016? And there's videotape of me in the 80s saying I thought we needed a female president. I know, but then the CNN anchor turns to Elizabeth Warren. Well, first she says to Bernie, so you're denying that you said that you didn't think a woman could become president. And Bernie's like, categorically, I never said it. Then she turns to Elizabeth Warren and says, how did you feel when Bernie said that to you?
Yeah, and
I'm going, oh my God, this is like the most, the clunkiest setup I have ever seen. And it was so bad, people in the audience started laughing.
You know what I'm loving about this, though, is watching the left eat the left, because now it's believe all women versus the Bernie bros.
Oh my God. Did you hear? So people are very mad at Elizabeth Warren. They were very mad, especially the Bernie crowd. So they started tweeting snake emojis, like tons of snake emojis in response to every Elizabeth Warren tweet. And so now the Warren camp is saying, well, the snake is the traditional biblical symbol of the evil of women. So you are misogynists. And I'm just going, oh my God, this has all gone so far. Like Elizabeth, what have you started? Seriously.
Well, and you know what? You'd think that is following the same day that they got that Bernie staffer from Iowa threatening to burn it all down and kill people and in gulags. You'd think that Warren Camp would realize...
Orty.
We're in Jade Helm FEMA Camp number 9. We all got our invitations in the last election.
Oh, good. Yeah. Will we still have fresh turned butter?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And we will have very sturdy furniture.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
They'll probably just take the donkeys and the buggy away, though, right?
Yeah. We ain't going nowhere.
But we're going to have butter, damn it.
Well, I mean, so you got this guy coming out and you say, yeah, it's going to be the cops that are suffering in Minnesota if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, and we're going to be sending people to go. Warren, they just made themselves the first people to get walked into the forest.
Well, it was actually hysterical because I caught a clip of Glenn Beck's radio show today, and he had Steve Deese on making 2020 predictions after the debate last night, right? And Deese says, I think the first 4 states are all going to go to somebody different. He's calling Buttigieg in Iowa, Bernie in New Hampshire, or I forget which exactly way it went, but each one of them got like one of the first 4 states, right? And he said, then it's just going to be a duke it out from there, and this is definitely going to be a contested convention. And unless they can get Michelle Obama to come in and be like the consent candidate, right? Because these two sides of the party cannot live with one another. Yep. He said, it's going to be Bernie because they'll just threaten to burn the whole place down. He said, and remember, Wisconsin is the training ground for the loony left. Look what they did to Walker.
Yeah.
He said, in Bernie's own a little Linsky type way, he said, if you can't win it by consent, you're going to win it through terror. And Bernie's got all those cards.
He's got the support. He's got the Antifa block.
Yeah, he's got the Antifa block.
Yeah.
But I mean, I heard that, and then I saw this video, and I'm like, holy crap!
I saw a video of... I saw a tweet from a lip reader who went over the exchange between Bernie and Warren last night, and it was not pleasant. It was. I guess Warren said something along the lines of, "Why won't you just admit it?" And Bernie says, "Yeah, no, we're done here."
Good for Bernie. Like, what hasn't she lied about? Trying to claim a victim mantle. First, she was Native American. Then she was fired because she was pregnant. Then her parents had to elope because of her mother's bloodline. Then her children went to public school. Then her father was a janitor. Her brother even got pissed off at that.
I know. She lies about the most easily researchable, debunkable things, and it's the.
I bet she was shocked when somebody came up with those school board meeting notes. Like, seriously.
Well, I've been saying this a lot.
For the free beacon, you guys go.
Right. No, I've been saying this a lot. The fact that for a party that was so internet savvy in 2008 and 2012, they do not get the internet in 2020 and 2016
at all.
I mean, not only can they not meme, but they don't understand that everything is forever.
Well, but not only that, but when President Trump can do the most normal thing on Twitter and retweet a meme, which are meant to convey an idea, right? And the whole internet lights a fire and all the mainstream media outlets lose their mind because while Nancy and Chuck Schumer are essentially doing the PR work for the regime in Tehran, somebody memed them wearing traditional Iranian garb, and Trump retweeted it as if to say, I see you, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, the simplest thing in the world. Last night, Speaker Kevin McCarthy put forth a resolution to condemn the downing of the airliner and to support the protesters in Iran. The Dems blocked it.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Like, okay, Iran has been under a theocratic dictatorship since I was 7. This is the first glimmer of hope we've had that something might change. Democrats just suck. Like, you can't just be on the right side because it's the right side to be on.
No.
No, of course not. And we all know why. Because Trump basically didn't just nuke Soleimani, he nuked Obama's entire legacy. Oh my God, deterrence does work.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been 3 years of constant... To remain at this emotional level for 3 years, all you can do is go higher. And as I said after the debate last night, if they're running for president of the internet and social media, they win. But that's not. They're running for president of the United States. They don't speak to America. I don't know what America they're talking to, but it's not the one normal people live in.
Oh my God. It is too funny. I actually saw somebody say today, because we all retweeted a poll that said, who are you thinking about voting for president? And the choices were Warren, Sanders, Trump, or Biden. And Biden had like 2%. And so you see, it's a media conspiracy. Biden can't possibly be leading in the polls. It's like, no, Biden's people are just not on Twitter. It's kind of like Jeb's people. They weren't either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, no, you're totally right. Cruz's people were on the internet. Rubio's people were still on the internet. And, Jeb's people were
Warren thing is so reminiscent of the Rubio Cruz thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, this part of the left is just going to end up hating each other.
They never really liked each other to begin. I mean, they haven't liked each other in a while. Ever since Hillary stole the nomination in 2016, you've had a lot of
resentment the Warren camp and the Bernie camp.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
Where you have two relatively similar candidates, and their supporters are just like psychotic. And the rest of us are going, yeah, we could probably vote for either one. You know? There's not a lot of daylight here, guys.
The best is watching Michael Moore get drugged for talking about how Warren stuck a knife in Sanders' back last night, and then every tweet I've ever read.
What?
Yes. Yeah, no, it's Michael Moore came out and, I guess he did a podcast about how Elizabeth Warren kind of stabbed Bernie Sanders in the back. And all of the Elizabeth Warren hens just started clucking all over him about what a misogynistic prick he is, and you just, Okay. This proves that Bernie said what he said.
For those of you who don't know, Elizabeth Warren is a cynical, insincere liar. This goes back so far, and I'm not kidding, that my mother, on a public access TV show, I think it was a TV show or a radio show, actually authored a song named Liawatha when she had her first Senate race against Scott Brown. So this is not new behavior. She's been this way forever, and she thinks you're stupid. She's arrogant. She appeals to college-educated white women. That's it. Who generally are in the third generation of family wealth, so they feel guilty.
Yeah, no, she appeals to Karens.
Karens love her, and I am so not a Karen.
Yeah,
I went to college, but I'm in that Gen X age range, but I never ask to speak to the manager. I just leave and don't leave a tip.
No. She is. We were joking about it last night too. Between Amy and Warren, it was like who was trying to out Karen who.
I think Klobuchar is actually the better Karen because her hair all moves together. I have said this about Elizabeth Warren ever since the beer video. I'm like, oh my God, she's the scoldy aunt that you run away from and hide the liquor from at every family gathering.
I thought that was Kamala, but yeah, I could see Warren being that one too.
Oh no, Kamala's the woman in the neighborhood that nobody talks to. I mean, she was, okay, Elizabeth Warren is insincere, inauthentic. I mean, she's like Hillary 2.0.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Insincere to a whole new level. Like, I have never seen that amount of insincerity all in one person.
I could just see Hillary sitting at home going, damn, that woman can pander. I thought I was good, but damn, hot sauce has got
Tupac.
Nothing on her.
She said she listened to Tupac while she was smoking a doob. Oh my God.
Yeah, that goes above and beyond hot sauce in the purse.
Way above. Damn it! All Bill could say was that he didn't inhale.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, I love the Democrats so much. So much. But my favorite thing about the Warren campaign, and I bring this out every once in a while because I find it so hysterical. You remember when they were trying to form the Warren meme army?
Yes, God, I was thinking about that too. I couldn't remember the name.
Do you remember the thread where they're trying to explain what a meme is, like in English?
I swear that was a parody account. I was like, if this is a parody account, this is going to be every bit as good as Donald Trump.
I mean, if it was a parody account, it could have been as good as Carpe Donktum.
Yeah.
You know? No, I think they were serious because you've never heard squat from them again.
No, they're still out there.
And the examples they gave were horrific.
And this is our dankest memes.
I don't think that's the one thing. They don't get the dank part. They just think it's a picture with words.
Yeah, and that's, back in 2016, before the Dem convention, I would get the best memes from my I have a friend up in Canada who's part of like the Bernie Sanders dank meme stash, and I would get the best Never Trump memes from him. They were just hilarious. And I don't know what happened to them in that time, but some point between 2016 and now, not only couldn't they meme except for the socialists, but now even the socialists have completely lost their ability to meme. Is there something in the water supply?
The definitive point when I think the meme on the left ended, like you just never saw even a remotely funny one again. It was when the Lindsey Graham meme came out during the Kavanaugh hearing of him straightening his tie.
Yeah, the Lindsey Graham Thug Life one.
It was over at that point. After that, the left had nothing.
Yeah.
When we can make a power meme out of Lindsey freaking Graham, we win. We win.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when you can turn Mitch McConnell into Cocaine Mitch and the Grim Reaper, using their own words against them, they've.
Oh my God. Well, now here's the other one, Moscow Mitch. Like, Nancy Pelosi is still talking about Russia. Did she not hear? Guys, after the Mueller report, and the Horowitz report, right? After you go through both of those things, one thing should be patently clear to the entire country and all of the media. Only one campaign in 2016 ever talked to a Russian. And it was Hillary Clinton's.
Well, and
not only did they
Jill
talk
Stein,
to a Russian, they injected Russian disinformation into our political process. Knowingly after January of 2017. So Nancy Pelosi needs to shut up about Russia.
No, it's all they got. It really is.
Oh my God.
Russia's the misdirection to keep their eyes off of the Ukraine. We talk about this on Cyber Wars, on how they kind of cross-pollinate their hackers, but it's Russia's always misdirection for what's happening in Ukraine.
Lou, help me out. Russia hacked Burisma. Okay. Lou's going to educate you all coming after the break, but I also did hear Glenn Beck and his researcher say if they indeed are hacking Burisma, he and his researcher know what they're looking for, and they have it, and it's currently sitting in a U.S. court.
Well, we touched on it on Cyber Wars on Monday because the story had just broke. And really all we could talk about on it was how CNN was already spinning it into a Russian disinformation campaign that if they release anything that they've gotten from Burisma, they're going to inject their own fake documents. Therefore, anything that comes from them is suspect. I watched the narrative form in real time.
Glenn and his researcher have providence and dates. They had this way before Russia supposedly hacked Burisma. So, here's the other thing that becomes really suspect. What's the name of this? What is the name of this group? Axis One or something?
Yeah, Axios? Or
no. The ones that supposedly found the hack.
Oh, God, I knew it on Monday, too.
Area 1. Okay, Area 1's chief security officer used to work for CrowdStrike. Okay? And the firm is doing cybersecurity work for almost all of the 2020 Democratic candidates for a total cost of $1,337, which is the minimum contractor cost, which they then turn around and donate back to the campaigns.
Yeah, nothing shady with it. Well,
there's absolutely nothing shady going on here.
Well, we were talking about it on Monday, too, is that the founder of CrowdStrike was part of Rosenstein's team that went after Cheryl Atkinson.
Why am I not surprised?
Oh, the incestuous relationship.
You know why none of this will ever be prosecuted? Because unless you live and freaking breathe it, you would get so freaking lost in the web of deceit and lies and cover up. And oh my God.
Yeah. No, it's just
I love Dan Bongino and I listen to him regularly because he usually ties all this together really, really well. Now, one of these lawyers that was doing 3 other things over here during collusion delusion is now on Adam Schiff's staff for the impeachment.
Of course he is.
It's a she. And I'm just like, oh my
God. We were talking about this before the show. The term the swamp still makes me cringe. I hate it so much. But it's true.
It is.
It's like I've had to reluctantly come around to liking Trump. At least I like how he makes the left and the media react.
Well, and I gotta admit, other than spending, I'm really okay with what he does. When he whacks a tariff on somebody, it's not because he wants to keep the tariff. It's because he wants them to come to the frickin' table.
Yeah, and that's what, I've talked about this with, him being the Leslie Nielsen president, just falling ass backwards into success. Every tariff he slapped, and we were screaming about his, I remember you and I were screaming about his tariffs before.
Tariffs
they work. They're working. It's all he has to do is threaten it. Hey, look, Mexico and Canada are back at the table to renegotiate NAFTA 2.
Better NAFTA. Europe pulled out of the Iran deal. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
He told Germany and France, you don't get on board here, we're slapping a 25% tariff on your automobiles.
Yeah. And it worked. Yeah, the shit works.
It does work.
So...
Oh my God, no, and legitimately at some point, I have to admit, Tucker Carlson has kind of invaded my conscience to a certain degree. Free markets isn't a religion, it's a principle, and how you apply that principle has to take situations into account.
Oh, you just made my libertarian spine cringe, but yeah, Hannity and Tucker Carlson I still can't forgive for a lot of things, but I understand his appeal.
It's not that, but when you think about it, right, if you're really going to have family-friendly policies in the current economy, and Elizabeth Warren back in 2003 didn't get everything wrong, 2 incomes is a trap, and I lived it. So what do you do to encourage the nuclear family while not interfering too much in markets? There's a dance there if you really want to conserve what we say we want to conserve. So those are just things I think about occasionally at this point that I probably didn't think about before 2016. All right. Well, we're going to go into our 30-minute break, and we will be back in just a couple minutes. Now, we're going to take our break at 30.
Bottom of the hour.
Bottom of the hour. What word he said?
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Get up, get your man above the red wine. Get up, get your man above the red wine. I can't get up out of bed with this crazy feeling in my...
Well, we're still going to have to live without Lou. We can't unmute her.
We tried. We did our best. But
We tried. But
she's the first to the gulag. You know what it is? Skype. Not only did Twitter suspend her, and put her in
She
quit mode, but now
suspended
Skype.
herself.
Yeah, she suspended herself. But yeah, so
Suspended herself from this podcast.
Skype has gotten her.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Where do you want to lead us now, Stacey?
What?
Where do you want to lead us now?
Well, I was just going to explain, as she explained to Ordy and I during the break, the reason this thing that these doofuses in California supposedly found is really no big deal is because Russia attempts to fish Ukraine like thousands of times a day, and they probably get in different places, a couple dozen to 150 or so. So the fact that they might have attempted to fish Burisma, which is the Ukraine's largest energy company, is probably not all that unusual.
Yeah, and even the fact that they're able to get in. I mean, if you spam out 100,000 fishing attempts at the Ukraine, and not even spear fishing, just general fishing attempts, and do some password spraying too, you're going to get in. You know, and so yeah, the fact that they got in.
Media didn't cover it very well. But Ukraine and Russia just inked like a big energy deal about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, this whole thing where Biden was insisting on energy independence for Ukraine, that's not happening. So,
yeah, and
and that kind of leads us directly into impeachment because I see Senator Cruz is getting his dander up a little bit.
Yeah, he did a little angry little thread today. He's
Well, I mean, I'm not sure why the Democrats think they just get to call Bolton and it's all going to be over. Republicans get to call witnesses too.
Yeah.
If you go to witnesses, we don't just call yours. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah, and I've said that too. It's just like, you do know that the Republicans get to call witnesses this time, right? You do know that they get to ask questions. They don't have to abide by Schiff and Nadler's dumb little rules where where the Dems get to lead the witness for 2 hours before anybody on the right gets to ask a question. So yeah, I mean, you don't get to craft the narrative this time, guys.
Yeah, well, not only that, but here's the thing. If Adam Schiff does not release Atkison's testimony, and he was the Intelligence Community Inspector General who testified in the basement, and it's the only testimony that Schiff hasn't released, if he doesn't release that, I think the GOP has to call that guy. The whistleblower and that guy. It is germane to the process that brought forth this investigation, and according to Devin Nunes, who has not been wrong about anything, okay? He really hasn't been. Not bad for a cow farmer.
Right.
After his testimony, the Republicans now have that dude under investigation for all his backdating and changing of forms to find out exactly why all that happened.
If I was McConnell and I had to call witnesses like that, I would do it on the open floor of the Senate. I wouldn't do it in closed doors. I wouldn't do it in
No, it would be on the open floor of the Senate.
I would do.
They've already testified. There's no classified material in it.
Right. Well, I mean, these are the same people who say that, we got to protect the whistleblower, even though everybody knows who he is, thanks to Schiff.
Okay. Well, when there was a whistleblower who figured out that the Office of Net Assessments had been making suspicious payments to Stefan Halper, okay, who's kind of a big deal in the whole Spygate thing, all right? That whistleblower got prosecuted because somebody missed a not in a sentence instead of adding one. This seems to be a real problem in the FBI. I either put a not in when it shouldn't be there, or they take it out when it should.
Yeah, they seem to have as much trouble with the word "not" as Clinton had with "is."
Yeah. And I'm sorry,
It's
Christopher
vexing.
Wray, as much as I like Bill Barr, and I do, and I think Durham's going to do a good job, I think he is a credible investigator with a very solid record of being nonpartisan and getting to the bottom of things no matter who's in charge. Barr's got to let go of Wray sooner rather than later.
Sure.
We need an actual law enforcement administrator at the top of that agency, not a lawyer.
That's it's been the problem so long with DC is that it's entirely populated with lawyers. Shakespeare had it right. First off, kill all the lawyers.
Right.
But yeah, and I like Barr too. Is when he first came on the scene, I wasn't too familiar with who he was, and this was back in the FUBAR days. And I did the research. He's the one who actually watches the Watchers. You ask who's watching the Watchers? That's Barr. Yeah, that was his job. It was his job to investigate the FBI, the CIA, and the other alphabet soup agencies.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. No, this needs to be done as a law enforcement, not as a legal proceeding.
Yeah, no, I mean, the IG's report, the fact that the only thing CNN got out of it was that there was no bias in the predication of the investigation was just, gobsmackingly stupid. Like, you only needed to read that paragraph to figure out it said a whole lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, now we're, living in a world where the impeachment gets put forth today with Nancy Pelosi and her golden pens. And if you haven't seen pictures of those, go to social media. She literally had pens made with her signature engraved in them, and she put them out on gold trays for people to sign the articles. This is your tax dollars at work, kids. Your tax dollars at work. So last
CNN,
night... I'm sorry?
CNN panel was just bashing Nancy for handing out the impeachment pins. They said it was a jarring celebration.
It was a jarring celebration and showed exactly how unserious this whole thing is and how sober she actually isn't.
Solemn and sober.
She has made missteps at every point in this process. Letting Schiff run it the way he ran it, stupid. Holding the articles when it was an imminent national security threat, stupid. But now we know why she did it. Because the SDNY is investigating this piece of schmuck, Lev Parnas, right? Who happened to help Giuliani with a couple of things in Ukraine. And so now, that piece of dirt, who's lied to federal prosecutors, lied about Devin Nunes traveling to Vienna, everything we know he said has been a lie. And now handwritten notes that are undated, all on a pad of paper from the same hotel, which look brand new. These conversations were taking place December 2018 and last March. These things look like they were just written with a Bic, and the Bic to boot.
Yeah, you learn that in high school.
Exactly what a Democrat would want them to say. How stupid do you think I am?
Well, here's the deal. He's going up on campaign finance charges. And that's rarely a prosecuted crime. But since we know through everything else in the investigation how deeply entrenched the SDNY and the FBI are into the Dems mindset, anti-Trump Dem mindset, that he's probably looking at real time.
Prosecuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, like I said, this would be a nothing charge most of the time.
I think Al has put it the best. if I'm going to do something illegal and evil, I always write it down on a pad of paper for someone to find.
Well, and I learned in high school, if you're going to forge a document, have a couple different pins. So that way it doesn't look like you did it all at once.
Use different kinds of scraps of paper, spread them around. I have one in this bag, one in that bag. They're not just like all laying on your desk.
Yeah, I don't write the 7 notes from my mom in the same pin.
Create, plan, do my magic. Do you really have to tell yourself to do your own magic?
Right. It's a positive assessment.
Like, I know what my magic is. I don't have to write down that I need to do it.
Right. Do your magic. Do
Lord.
your thing.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Like, but you don't have to remind yourself to do what you do.
I mean, how insecure do you have to be to leave your daily affirmation on a notepad that you're taking notes to bring down? I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and I'm going to do my thing. You do my magic.
God. And the fact that they are all written on the header notebook paper from the Ritz-Carlton in Vienna.
Yeah,
guys, we already know Devin Nunes didn't go to Vienna. Stop. It's just, here we have a documented liar whose bail was revoked for lying to federal prosecutors, and the Democrats want to use his undated, handwritten notes about doing his magic to impeach the president.
Well, and that's why they did the same thing with Michael Cohen, thinking that he was such a smoking gun against Trump. And it's like, as soon as you bring up his credibility, he's going to jail for perjury.
Exactly.
One
of Mueller's witnesses went away for 30 years this week for kiddie porn. Who are these people?
Right. Just so cringy.
Well, and I mean, I guess I have to sort of shrug my shoulders at. You got to understand, I have a soft spot in my heart for Rudy Giuliani. I was a New York resident for a long time. The city was gross. My dad worked down there. He wouldn't let us live down there. I mean, it was gross. You went through Times Square only in the daytime. Okay? After Rudy was there for a little while, it was fun to go down there. You could walk around at night and not get mugged. I have a soft spot in my heart for Mr. Giuliani. And he said, look, I took down the Gambino crime family. Sometimes the people you talk to get information in corrupt regimes are rather corrupt themselves.
If they weren't corrupt, they wouldn't be in a corrupt regime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
this whole impeachment thing just has me I'm as excited about impeachment as I am about the Oscars because I've seen none of those movies.
It is so. I mean, there's no interest. I mean, the third day of the House inquiry, I think was. I mean, on a network that loses to the Hallmark Channel, was their lowest rating. I mean, you can't get any lower, and they still found a room below bottom.
Stelter did.
Yeah.
One day in December, Stelter had 85,000 viewers. That's a legit number.
Right now.
That's not a lie. That is a legit number.
For the most trusted name in news, that's pretty low.
For a show called Reliable Sources.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, I know. Tater. Poor Tater.
Oh, poor Tater.
Now he's coming out with a book.
I know.
I think it'll be popular as Acosta's book.
I was gonna say he's gonna be citing books at a Walmart to people next to the Little Vienna sausage vendors.
I don't even know. They followed Acosta and would go to his book signings and legit no one was there. They would take a picture of Acosta and a Barnes and Noble or Books A Million. He'd be sitting at the table alone.
You'd think you'd want to get the crowds. I mean, even Hillary tried to get as many people in the photos for her book as she could.
I
actually
looked. So when Acosta's book came out, and I can't even remember the title of it now, Levin's Unfreedom of the Press had been out for about a month, right? Levin was still number 2 on Amazon. Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life had been out for 2 years, and it was number 61. And Acosta wasn't even in the top 100.
Yeah, it's...
This week it was released.
I don't know why these people think... I mean, the book deals right now, they're just a vanity project. They're a vanity plate for a Barnes & Noble. That way, when you're walking through a B&N and, hey, there's my book. Oh, are you Jim Acosta? Yes, I am. You're an insufferable twat. You know that?
Yeah, he really is. But you know what has been the best thing about not having daily pressers?
His not preening?
See Jim Acosta. Not ever. He might be asking the president a question, but you can't hear it because all you can hear is the helicopter blades.
Right. Him and that dude from Playboy.
So the president can say whatever he wants. It may not even answer the question.
You know who perfected that was Reagan, though, when he'd be walking to Marine One with his hand over his ear. He just, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
All right, what? Can't hear you. No, but Trump will actually stop and talk to them and call on them.
Right.
And let them ask questions, but you can't hear the questions because they're in front of you.
And then he answers whatever he wants.
Riffs on whatever he wants to riff on. It's great. I love it. But I literally have not seen Jim Acosta's face except for like clips from their New Year's Eve thing on Twitter.
Or when he's whining on Twitter about...
I just want to apologize to every single one of you in the audience and every single one of you in the chat room. I know we made you miss Rachel Maddow, okay, Roswell Rachel, and Lev Parnas. She had an exclusive with the perjurer, liar, and...
You know what this is going to be? He's going to be the new...
And vicious note taker.
He's going to be the new Michael Avenatti.
Oh, he's got to be. Oh my God! Did you see
during the debates last night when Avenatti got arrested?
If you guys are on Twitter, okay, go to Sean Davis's TL, and he has like a 50-tweet thread of Avenatti and the press and Democrat politicians, and it's fabulous.
Yeah, with like Anna Navarro and Cater.
Oh, Anna Navarro called him the Holy Spirit. I mean,
yeah, the incarnation of the Holy Spirit and
incarnation of the Spirit. Oh, Brian Stelter looked at him lovingly on many occasions. I'm like, oh my God, you people.
Yeah, Don Lemon at a party up in the Hamptons with him, and
Whenever you live it that large, that fast, look out.
Well, they did the same thing to David Hogg. When's the last, aside from his, douchey little tweets on Twitter, when do you ever hear of them? He was their golden boy until he wasn't anymore. And I called that one back in the day, that they are going to abandon him, and it's eventually going to ruin him.
Well, he's an adult now, and he looks like Sinead O'Connor. He got the Sinead O'Connor buzz cut. He did. Okay. Go look.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's the first... You can always tell when something's wrong in the relationship when they change their hair.
Okay, so. I was taking a drink. Sorry. It's iced tea, guys. It's iced tea. The best thing... Okay, I saw a lot of great stuff on Twitter. I told you about the Avenatti thread and all that. The best thing I saw on Twitter was right before we got on the show. Someone tweeted out a clip of Jeopardy this evening, and Adam Schiff was the answer. And there was a question about being chairman of the House Intelligence Committee with his picture, and none of the 3 Jeopardy contestants rang in. Alex Trebek had to give the answer.
Let's analyze that for a second. First of all, you've got the guy who is all over the news for the impeachment for 2 weeks, and not even that, leading up to it. And Ben on Last Pot on the Right says it best. He looks like Mr. McKay drawn on a thumb. If you know Mr. McKay from South Park, okay.
All I'm
Mr.
telling
Mackey.
you, this is how much most of America pays attention to this crap. They are going to tune in October of 2020.
Yeah, that's it. Nobody cares about any of this. I mean,
and then if they know you're politically plugged in, they come up to me and go, explain everything to me. Who should I vote for? Really? Do you have anybody do that? I literally have people do that to me.
I do. Because I work in elections, I can't do it the day of, obviously. But,
right.
It's, on my street, I'll have the, I know you do this stuff. What's going on? Okay, let me give you the Cliff's condensed version. Everything is stupid.
Everything is stupid. Vote Republican down the line because it's the best chance we have.
Right. Yeah.
I want to know about these impeachment managers. I want to know why we don't get to see Mad Max and Guam is tipping Hank.
I know. They've got a whole bunch of next to nobody's doing. I mean, you got this.
Well, I obviously know who Adam Schiff is. I could have gotten a Jeopardy question right today, folks.
Right. And David Newton. Yeah.
And I know Jerry Nadler, the Penguin.
Right.
I know who Hakeem Jeffries is only because he was on the list of people that the Justice Dems were going to primary.
All right.
And then we've got this woman, and actually this cracked me up before we got on, Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, who's chair of the Committee on House Administration, which has jurisdiction over federal elections. No, she doesn't.
It's a House committee that does nothing.
The House committee that does nothing. The states have jurisdiction over all elections all the time. And in Georgia, the counties do it. Anyway, she was actually a Judiciary Committee staffer during the Nixon impeachment.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the show, too. This woman has been in Washington at least as long as I've been alive.
Longer?
I was born in 71. I was born in
72.
Right. So I was that it wasn't her first day as a staffer that she was put on the impeachment inquiry of Nixon. She had been there a little while. I mean, she's 72, so...
Well, she's been a congressperson for 26. I mean, she is just, emblematic. You want to do a meme that says Zoe Lofgren next to a cat and just put, one of these is dependent on you for everything, the other one is the household pet.
Right. Yeah, let's see. Val Demings from Florida. I have no idea who she is.
Jeff? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. I'm almost 50.
What's that?
Jeff said, ha, now you can figure out Stacy's age. All right.
Yeah, it's called math.
Never shy about it. I never act my age, though. So.
Yeah, who's this? Okay, we got Jason Crow from Colorado.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him.
And
first term.
Demings of Florida, who used to be a cop.
Okay. And Sylvia Garcia, Texas.
Yeah. Never heard of her either.
So we're down to our last minute, Stacy.
I will say this. I will not be watching the impeachment. I will go look at segmented pieces of it after the fact as they're posted to YouTube. But I will not turn on any television station that is broadcasting this crap all day long.
Oh, I don't know. I think watching Cocaine Mitch do his magic might be fun.
Yeah, but all the good clips are going to be on YouTube.
That's fair. Yeah, they'll be on Twitter right after it happens.
We're getting ready to wrap up for this evening. So, Ordy, when you can tweet, where can they find you?
They can find me as Orty Packard on Twitter. They can find me here Mondays with Cyber War. Every other Thursday, this Thursday, on Culture Shift with Brad Slager. Every other Friday with Rick on Juxtaposition, which is next week. In fact, I'm going to be on with Rick in the next hour, filling in for Dan.
Nice. I am at ScotsFire on Twitter, SCOTSFYRE, and you will also know me as the Gypsy if you listen to me on The Loftus Party, which drops on Mondays on iTunes and just about every other platform.
And we all know Lou, but she can't talk, so
She also can't
Lou,
tweet.
Yeah, also can't tweet. She's in Twitmo
She also
too.
can't tweet, but you can find her at Cyber War Podcast on Twitter, so when she can tweet, you can see her. She loves you guys. Have a great one. See you next week.
Yeah. Vibrating.